One of the best parts of No Time to Die was the 5-minute scene that Ana de Armas had in that movie. So when they announced that they were going to be giving her her own spin-off film in the John Wick universe, that got me really excited, and it was one of my most anticipated films of last year and this year. Ballerina follows Eve Macaro, an assassin trained in the traditions of rusca Roma, who sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. From beginning to end, this movie delivers everything that was promised in the trailers and then some. Because this movie was supposed to come out a year ago, but it got delayed because they wanted to shoot a little bit more of the action and tighten that up. And the year-long break that they had to reshoot those actions and tidy it up a little bit more definitely paid off, because this movie from beginning to end is non-stop action. The things that you love about the John Wick universe delivers in here when it comes down to the high-octane action. Ana de Armas carries this movie from beginning to end, and she had to carry this movie because not only does she have to convey a lot of different emotions, especially after the things that she goes through when she was younger, and then in her trainings leading up to her seeking out revenge for her father's death, she had the weight on her shoulders, and she just kicked so much ass. Everything that I wanted her to do in this movie, she absolutely did, and she did that in spades. Not only do they not make her a carbon copy of John Wick and in a female form, but she is her own character, and I really liked her destination and her journey and everything that was going on. It felt a little bit new, a little bit more refreshing, and Ana de Armas just absolutely kicked so much ass. The action in here is everything you want from a John Wick universe movie, and they delivered that in spades. I think this might be the most brutal in the John Wick universe. That might be up for debate, but it's definitely in the conversation as one of the most violent and bloody in the John Wick franchise. If not, it's definitely up there. And what I really enjoyed about the action sequences, they're shot in the way that I absolutely love action films to be shot, where it's not a bunch of shaky cam where you just can't see any of the action and you're trying to scramble to see what's actually going on. No, the same action sequences that you get in the John Wick movies, you get in here. They are so crisp, so cut, and so much fun to see on screen that it makes you want to stand up and shout. The way that they choreograph the action sequences, I think is one of the best that I've seen in quite a while. Not sure how much of that has to do with the reshoots that they did last year, or if it was a mixture of new scenes and scenes that were already shot. Not really sure how much of the action sequences in here were reshot or re-edited, but the 1 year wait was absolutely worth it. And when it comes down to John Wick in this movie, he is more of a glorified cameo. After I heard that he was going to be in a majority of this movie from last year's CinemaCon, really he's in it for about 10 to 15 minutes, but the way that they use him in this movie is great, and it was really fun seeing him back on screen kicking so much ass. And just the fight sequence between Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves was intense. It was action packed. The thing that really holds this movie down from me actually loving it as much as the John Wick movies, the story really isn't the best, and that's not really what you're going for in a John Wick movie. I think that is just like an added bonus to the action sequences, but whenever you're able to blend a great story with the action sequences, it makes it a little bit more entertaining and a little bit more for you to get into. In here, it's just your typical revenge story where you have Eve going after her father's killer, and really the villain for this movie is just a throwaway villain. It's a villain that you've seen many times before, and he really doesn't add much to the plot or anything like that. He shows up here and there, but whenever he shows up, he's okay. He's not all that memorable, but really what you're just going for in this movie is just seeing Ana de Armas kick so much ass, and you get that in spades. I really had a fun time with this movie. It's not as great as I wanted it to be, but I still really enjoyed it just with the display on screen. Ana de Armas definitely holds this movie together as her own, and if they made 15 more of these movies, I am going to be there day one, because I really just love seeing all the action on display, even if the story isn't the best. It's just the performances that we have in these movies, and I can't wait to see if they do a follow-up to this movie or they're just going to leave it as a one and done. But those are my thoughts on Ballerina. Have you guys checked it out? Are you planning on checking this film out? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know, what is your favorite action film?